What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Is it different for you on your guys' side? This is our first. This is everyone's here. They're all coming on. It's Shawn and Lacey, guys. Let us know if you can hear us. All right, we're doing something different tonight. There's Shawn. There's Lacey by themselves.
It's a little bit different on our end. I mean, we're also not in the studio. We're sitting on the couch in our makeshift studio in Naples. And so here we are on Wednesday night on our first BDC Live.
Everybody's saying hello. Happy New Year. Super excited to be with you here on a Wednesday, a new time, a new day, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So you know what to do. If you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe. And for everybody who's on, you caught wind of the new updated date and time. Please share tonight's broadcast. Put this on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you could put it. It is time to call your friends in tonight. We're giving away $500 to start the year off. I would love to see in the chat, if you win the $500, what are you going to do with $500 coming your way?
What would you do? What would you do with $500?
$500. I'd probably buy golf balls. I didn't get a bounty
How
of
many
golf
balls
balls.
could you buy for $500?
You could buy a lot. You could buy 10 dozen golf balls for $500. I didn't get a big bounty of golf balls at Christmas this year. So I have to kind of ration. I've got to play well. I can't be hitting the ball in the water all over the place. And I went just last Monday. Was it Monday? One day were we in Jacksonville? Monday. Yeah, on Monday, we flew up to Jacksonville to see John Daly in the Hair of the Dog golf tournament. It was held on January 1st. So you had to, or January 2nd, right? January 2nd. You had to recover January 1st. You got to be out there January 2nd. Played in a foursome with Ben Griggs and Sean Williams and McBee, Navy SEAL, who authored the book. What is the book called? Uncommon Grit. Uncommon Grit. Yeah. And McBee used up a lot of my golf balls. I was like, bro, these are expensive golf balls, man. Like, you can't hit them once. Like, you can't just.
So he wasn't very good. Then.
No, he was good, but he's on some of them.
A lot of golf balls.
Some of them he hit. Some of them he knocked in the water. Hey, Tristan wants us to announce to you that on March 24th and 25th, we have tickets available now for BDC Sales Matters coming up in Austin, Texas. We are stacking that lineup. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Black Diamond Club is heading to Austin, Texas, March 24th and 25th. And I'm loving seeing all of the things that people would do.
I saw somebody was going to pay for their room for sale.
Well, the hotel, yeah, that probably would pay for your room during your entire stay.
Hot date with the hubby. That's a good one. I like that. $500. You could have a really hot date.
Down payment on a cold plunge. I had to get reacquainted.
Hot date, cold plunge.
I had to get reacquainted with my relationship with the cold after a little time off because we were in Boca. So I didn't have my cold plunge. I had to get reacquainted with my relationship with the cold. Advertising.
Somebody's going to buy a Stanley. I love my Stanley. It's worth it. You should do it.
Oh, yeah, the Stanley. Okay.
They're like $80 now. They're ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
$80.
You know how many golf balls you could buy for $80? Like, that is
not a lot.
Awesome.
You can only buy 10 dozen with $500.
Oh, Broadway show. So this is great. We're giving away $500. Make sure that you have subscribed. Make sure that you share tonight's broadcast because your friends are used to seeing this come out on Monday. But this is Wednesday. Launch of the brand new show, BDC Live. We're going to be talking about what's going on. And this week, we're talking about habits, not resolutions. We're talking about habits for the new year.
We're talking about what you want us to talk about. So really, you guys get to direct.
Oh, I thought you meant me.
The topics. No, not you.
Them.
Okay.
You. I was like, how did I pick this? I didn't pick this.
No, you didn't pick this. They picked this. The audience picked it. Our people picked it. Our community picked it. They have questions. And they're looking for
and Chris Christea just wanted us to know his name is Chris Christea. He put his name. What would he spend $500 on? He's like, me.
I would spend it on me. I love that.
Good job, Chris. Good to see you.
I would too. I'd spend it on me too, Chris.
Giving away $500. And what that means is that we're drawing 5 names from the canasta. Tristan's manning the producer booth. Everybody shout out Tristan. Give it up for Tristan Schaub. He is producing tonight's live transmission.
And
I
he has his
see
sidekick.
his sidekick.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
I was
is
going to
his
say
somebody
sidekick.
say,
I saw
see sidekick Bailey.
I saw Tristan's
There's
sidekick
sidekick
Bailey.
Bailey.
The
We look like we got
numerologist.
a gangster thug behind me. Like
Oh, okay. Good.
I'm
Gangster thug Bailey. Bailey is learning how to man the production booth.
Oh, that's what he's doing. I thought he
Yeah,
was
he's
teaching
learning.
Tristan about numerology.
I mean, he's probably doing that too because we can't get away from
Hey, look at
that,
Tristan.
so.
Tristan's looking sharp and entrepreneur-ish, wearing his black t-shirt.
His new haircut.
New haircut. How was your New Year, Tristan? What'd you do for New Year's Eve?
me and Kat binge watched White Lotus season 2. And
Oh, how was
I
that?
heard
Everybody
I would-
says it's great.
Well, I heard I would only like season
It's
2.
phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Did you watch
Yeah.
season 1?
We watched that, and I'll tell you, after that, finally, after 3 attempts, we were into Yellowstone.
Jellystone. Yes. Would
Yeah.
I like the Lotus thing?
Yes, Lacey would love it. Lacey
Yeah,
would love
that's
it.
everybody
keeps
says
telling
Lacey
me.
would
Lacey
love
would
it.
love it.
I don't know if I would like it, but you.
I think you would like it from the perspective. I think you would love this. I think you would love the cinematography. I think you guys. I think all our BDC people would love White Lotus. It's smart,
All right,
sexy.
everybody.
Yeah, it's what we
White
are.
Lotus, everybody. Make sure you check that out. Yellowstone, Lacey and I have not yet watched the mid-season finale, which it can't be a mid-season finale. That
So
doesn't even
weird.
make sense because it's mid-season, so it's not the finale.
Yeah.
This is like saying episode. That's like saying today is the quarter season finale of BDC Live. It is not. There's more coming. It can't be the mid-season finale.
We can call
Whatever.
it that. You can call it whatever
All
you
right,
want.
make sure you watch Jellystone. That's one of my favorite shows on TV right now. Love when the new episodes come out. And then apparently this White Lotus thing, pretty good as well. All right, what are we talking about? We're in the Happy New Year. I've got lots to talk about, but we have to follow we have to follow the people.
It's a
People's
new time.
choice.
It's a new day, and we have 5 names.
Isn't that a song? It's a new time. It's a new day.
It's a new life.
And you're
that a Michael Bublé song?
feeling.
Maybe I don't know. Is that somebody tell us? Okay. New time, new day, new life.
And you're
5
feeling
names,
good.
$500, and you're feeling good, and 5 habits going into the new year.
Oh, for all of our BDC members, and first of all, if you are a BDC member, then your name is in the canasta and you're in the running for $500. So if you're not yet a BDC member, you should jump on this. You go to www.blackdiamondclub.com and you can get in on these weekly drawings where we drop money. Lacey and I give away money every single week. Here's how it works. Every single Black Diamond Club member, your name is in the canasta. We're going to draw 5 names tonight because we're giving away $500. You must be present on the live transmission to win. You'll have 30 seconds to claim your prize. You're a winner if your name gets drawn. That's super cool, but you got to claim your prize. You must be present to win. If nobody claims the prize tonight, then next Wednesday, we're going to up the ante to $600. And we're going to draw 6 names Wednesday at 8 p.m. So make sure that you've readjusted your alarms. And you know, every Wednesday at 8 p.m., Shawn and Lacey are jumping on YouTube, and we're going to be talking about all the things that are going on, I guess, in whatever you wanted us to talk about. I wanted to talk about that Andrew Tate guy going to jail. I love that topic. I have not been able to talk about that anywhere. Nobody asks me about that.
Well, because you know what?
Tristan
they want other
if
things
I
to
was
talk about.
in Indiana, Tristan would want to talk to me about that.
Of course.
And Bailey's like an Andrew Tate fan.
The first person I went to was Shawn, and I asked the question: is he done? Are they done? Because they blew up so fast.
He's not done, but he learned a very valuable lesson. He learned a big lesson, and so he's not done. But actually, it was very interesting because you and I were just talking with a young 22-year-old, Bailey, check this out, a 22-year-old realtor who has sold $180 million in real estate since he started at 19 years old. He worked for 2 years. Well, 2 years as an apprentice. And then a year and a half after he got his real estate license, which who knows when that was in that window.
That doesn't work. Those numbers don't add up. He worked from 19 to 20, 1 year as an apprentice.
Oh, 1 year as an apprentice.
And it took him a year and a half to make his first sale. So half year later, at 20 and a half, he made his first sale. Now he's 22. He's only been selling for a year and a half.
Year and a half, he's made $180 million
in sales.
So we asked this 22-year-old that was just absolutely killing. We're like, what are you afraid of? What do you
Yeah.
have to learn? What are your obstacles out there? And he was like, well, this is interesting because look, they live in this social media world. We live in this YouTube live kind of world. And he's like, but you know what? And listen, I 100% agreed with him. I said, man, you're spot on. The wealthiest people of the world, they're quiet.
Yeah.
Right? Not the ones like you're like, oh no, because the loud wealthy people, they're few and far between, but the truly wealthy people, they're quiet.
The deeply
No, I'm not trying
connected,
to feed the I don't want designer shoes
networked.
crowd. I'm talking about the billionaires. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the people with influence. And he said, so here's the scary thing. We live in this world, we're in business. We have to promote ourselves. We've got to go out. We've got to develop a personal brand. But we also know that not only that there's governments, there's deep state, and I'm not talking about the conspiracy deal. I mean, there's people that are out to get you. They don't want to see you be successful. And there's normal people that don't want to see you be. And I was like, man, you know what that makes me think of? That makes me think of Andrew Tate. Right. So this guy gets himself in trouble because he became ultra known. And of course,
And
it
ultra
appears.
loud.
But it also appears, I don't know him personally, it appears that he has a lot of wealth. He's over there in Romania. He's got all these cars. He seems like he's doing extremely well for himself. But he starts to get in with these different podcasts and platforms, and he's all over the place. And then he gets done in. And a lot of the conversation. So with Tristan's question, a lot of what the conversation centers around is look like governments. Like, who is he the biggest threat to? Who's worried about this guy? Like, a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people like. Why is he a
says
threat?
a lot of things. I mean, from a conspiracy theorist.
Well,
standpoint,
that and a lot of other
vocal
things
about it, and a lot of people are in alignment with his message. And
but then all of a sudden, the government of Romania, of all things, a lot of people think it was Greta. It could be the 19-year-old. It wasn't this. So you have to represent a far bigger threat than to like the environment for this to happen to you. But I do believe that there's not a lot. If there is stuff on him, like it's probably some shell game. I do believe that he's going to find his way back out. And then here's the thing, though, he's got to find some better friends. Right. You need deep. I mean, he's got to get some deep connections and alliances because he built his fame off of this network of people that he didn't really know that kind of built his name, built his fame. And then he got in trouble. Listen, the Rothschilds, the deeply stacked, the Rockefeller family, they're deep and they have amazing connections. I brought up today the Clintons. Again, whether you agree or disagree, I mean, and there's business lessons here as well. Like, you need to have strong, deep relationships. When you have superficial relationships, you run the risk of being canceled. Right. And they tried to cancel Andrew Tate, but when that didn't work, now they've got that guy in jail. And he even said that was going to happen. That was what was going to happen. And he said they were going to kill him. Which
first they're going to silence me. Then they're going to blame me for something I didn't do. He said, and then they'll kill me.
Wow.
That's actually what he said. There's video and audio of it everywhere.
And
so
who's to know? I would love to meet him, but not just meet him because now at this point, like, he's so famous. I would love to know him. Who's to know if all of this is like made up? Like, is this persona? Is this done? Is this
like a PR move?
Yeah. Is this because look, it's working, right? He's like, I'm going to say the things that will elevate my brand, whether or not I agree with them or not. I'm going to get more play. I'm going to get people talking about me. The best way is to be polarizing. You and I have talked about that. I'm saying things that pander and cater to a certain audience, but are all going to turn off another audience. And then I'm going to just lay out this kind of plan. I'm going, a lot of people are like, oh, the Sean Stradamus. A lot of it's just logic. Right? You just like look down the road. That's probably what you did. And you're like, this is logical. It's not predictive. It's just logic. This is what's going to happen. So yes. All right.
Habits.
Anand's on here. Hey, Anand. Iris on here. Hey, Iris. Brandon Brown. We got the specific crew showing up.
We do. Showing up tonight.
Jillian Farrell from
Wednesday
nights.
Wednesday nights are a good night.
I got news from Jillian today that there's going to be a proclamation recognizing Sherman College for 50 years. So this is also very interesting. I'm super excited to see that. This year's Lyceum is the 50th anniversary at Sherman College. Go to sherman.edu. And you can get information. We'd love to see a lot of people roll out at Lyceum. It's going to be an amazing event. I'm going to speak. You're going to speak. David Meltzer's speaking. We're going to bring on Jack Borla as the 6th president. Make your plans. Make your plans. It's going to be amazing. All right, let's talk about these habits.
I know. Like, hey, if anybody out there is starting a new habit this year, drop it in the chat. Let us know what kind of habits that you are beginning so that you can reach a lot of your goals. And I think that's what's really important. I mean, we've talked about this for a really long time, that a lot of people, they create goals and they have this big, massive goal, but they don't actually do the steps that are necessary to get there. There's a couple of things that are required of you in order to get to the goals that you put out. Number one is engaging in habits that will actually lead to the success. That's what we're going to talk about
Can
tonight.
I change that though
And then
for me? Oh, go ahead. Number two.
Number two is having the mindset that's in alignment with reaching the goal.
Well, Chris already beat me to it, and
Oh.
and I love this. I heard this on an Andy Frisella podcast.
Mhm.
I'm not a big consumer of Andy Frisella information. Just I like to clarify. I think again, I've never met him. Probably a great guy.
Yep.
But I heard him talking about this idea of motivation and inspiration, and he
Okay.
was saying, listen. You know, a lot of people, and so when you have this thing, this habit, so we're like, oh man, people are gonna hear this and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, but you know, I have to get more motivated. I have to get more inspired. And he was like, listen, I want to tell you something. Successful people don't rely or need motivation, rely on or need motivation or inspiration. They just do things. And a lot of things that successful people do, a lot of things that you do, I watch, you know, you navigate life, and there's a lot of things that you do that you don't want to do. People
Right.
think like, well, your life is just full of all of these things because you're so successful. But here's the thing, you also don't have to get psyched up or inspired. You don't have to read cool quotes on the internet to do the things that you don't want to do, because they are disciplines. They're just things that you do because you want to be successful.
Well, this is funny because I actually talked about this on the IPO call, which is our group coaching program that we have. I guess it was this week. I can't remember. I think it was this week.
That was probably yesterday.
Oh yeah, I guess it was yesterday. It might have been the time before. But one of the things that I was reading about successful people is that there's two things that lead you to success, and it's a combination of discipline and enthusiasm. So it's not motivation or inspiration, it's doing things enthusiastically. And so you have to have discipline, you have to exercise disciplines. And then the enthusiasm is what drives you to do new things, to do things that are risky. You do them with enthusiasm. So here's where people get burnt out or overwhelmed. They lose their enthusiasm, right?
Yeah.
And when things fall apart, it's because they lost their discipline. So you have to have both in order to get to the next level. I thought that was really
I
interesting.
also heard, and this, I don't know if I agree with this, but this is interesting. I heard a take on this that you can't go. So, you know, you always hear, and I don't know what's statistically true, 28 days to form a habit, right? I also heard somebody in relative to discipline that it was 3 days to lose a discipline. So if you're trying to, like, you have a discipline of going to the gym and you're like, I want to go to the gym every day or 5 days a week. But when you break the discipline for 3 days, maybe you're doing no carb and you break the discipline. Once you've done it for 3 days broken, you're out of the discipline.
Right.
And you have to literally start back over to get yourself back into that discipline. So like maybe you can fall for a day, maybe even 2 days, but you do not fall down. That's one of my big ones. Do not fall down. You do not fall down for 3 straight days.
Well, remember Christopher Dedian? Is that you guys?
Yep, Christopher Dedian. Yep.
Yes. I think it was him that we were doing an interview with, and he said, I only allow myself to not do one of my disciplines 2 days in a row.
Oh, yeah,
and that's my breathing room and flexibility that I give myself. So if I was to
it's
say,
like a cheat meal.
Yeah, it's like a cheat meal. So if I was going to be
One
on a
cheat
diet and I was going to be clean, eat clean, then I would only allow myself to break that rule for 2 days straight,
Even
and
if
then
you're on
I've got to
vacation.
get back on. Yeah.
Even if you're on vacation, you got to get back on.
The same thing with the gym, the same thing with getting a certain amount of sleep or going to bed at a certain time. So that was his internal rule that he had. And that's interesting because he never let it go to 3 days. He always said it was 2. So maybe there's something to it.
All right. So we've got 5 disciplines or 5 habits or 5 things, 5 activities, 5 things that you need to do in the new year.
And I don't think these are even things that you need to do. These are just suggestions
of
5
things suggestions.
Because here's the deal.
5 opinions.
5
recommendations.
What you really need to do.
We have 5 thoughts for the new year.
I'm talking.
5 ideas.
All right.
That you may try.
So what you really need to do is 5 things that are necessary for you to create a discipline around, for you to get to your goals. And they may not be the things that
See what Tristan wrote, 5 things you need to do or not. Maybe.
Or maybe not. Or potentially, if you like.
Call your friends. Tell them we're on live here on YouTube.
Tristan, you got something you want to add to this? Okay, here's number 1. And here's why this is one of those, maybe you do it this way, maybe you don't. Maybe you like it, maybe you won't. I don't know. All right, number 1, I put this as working when the world is sleeping. And here's what I want to tell you, because Shawn said, I think that one of the things that we should put as a habit or a discipline is waking up extra early.
Somebody else put that. You
I
said we
know.
are of the people.
But
We
I
answer
am
to the
saying,
people. We
so
are the
there
people's
is
champions.
somebody back me up here, because some people are morning people and some people are night owls. I would rather stay up an extra hour while the world is sleeping to do work than wake up an hour early. But that's like my vibe. That's my circadian rhythm. That's
not
my
popular.
energy. That's my creative space. So that exactly, Karen, that is my chronotype. So I'm just
Chronograph.
saying that's what I would rather do. So I think the habit should be you decide and do some extra work.
It's not going to be very popular because, listen, what about this idea? I love this again. Great. Well, it's not going to be popular because not the sleeping part. Working while other people are sleeping. You know when a lot of people are sleeping? During the last 2 weeks of the holiday, last 2 weeks of the year. You know when people sleep? During Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know when people are sleeping? On every other holiday where the world just stops. And I love this idea, man. I was just over this 2-week period. I've been diving deep on a lot of information, and man, I got to tell you, like, man, the idea is this, and this blew my mind. There is no neutral, and we struggle with this, but as an idea, we did very well last year, and so you stop and you're like, all right, well, maybe it would be great if we did just as well this year as we did last year. But you know what? There's no neutral in business. There's only going forward in growth, or there's retraction. Period. End of story.
Right.
There is no middle. And people are going to argue with this. I've got a couple, recent fans that love to play the contrarian, and bless their hearts. I hope they get lots of followers for playing the contrarian. But there is only growth and retraction. Here's why. Because when you're neutral, so when you do follow the common crowd, when you do sleep while everybody else is sleeping, somebody like Lacey is awake. Somebody like Lacey is tracking you down. So while you're not growing, you're neutral, your competition is catching you. And that should be something that inspires you. I saw Jane on here. When you're not training, your competition is training to beat you. Right. So there is no neutral. There's only I'm getting better or I'm going backwards. I'm going forward or I'm going backwards. There is no I'm stagnant, because if you are stagnant, behind you in the rear view mirror, the crowd is approaching. They're taking over.
In reality, you're actually retracting.
You're retracting.
You're retracting. If people are bypassing you and your competition's getting ahead of you, naturally that means that your business is retracting.
Absolutely. So yes.
There's no stagnancy.
So just getting ahead or doing work while the world is sleeping. It doesn't have to be literally asleep with their eyes closed. It could be they're just sleeping on you. Yeah. They're sleeping on the concept of getting ahead. They're sleeping on the BDC live. They're not here. I saw another person earlier. I apologize. There's just so many comments here, but somebody said, I just got in. I'm jet lagged, but I'm here. Right. Well, good for you, because your competition is not. I saw the curtain, Tristan. Want to let everybody know we have just, I think, 2 spaces left at Bourbon Nights. Yes. We're taking a group of inspired men to Oklahoma to have a phenomenal time. I've invited some of my veteran friends as well, who are going to be coming out with us. We're going to be doing some shooting, some fishing. We're going to be hunting hogs. We're going to be having a fantastic time. We have the entire experience. It's going to be meals are going to be provided by a chef that we're going to have in-house. We are also going to have some amazing bourbons. We're going to have some cigars. It's going to be just an absolutely phenomenal experience. We're just reviewing our tech here while you're looking at that curtain. Reach out to Tristan at blackdiamondclub.com for more information. And Lacey, tell them about what you have planned in Mexico for all of the lovely female entrepreneurs at Champagne
CEOs is going to be May 18th through the 20th. This is myself and Stephanie Wigner. We absolutely love hosting these events. They're retreats unlike anything that you've been to before. It's like a combination of business growth, breaking through limiting beliefs, expansion, while being with a group of women that are like-minded, and then tons of relaxation. It is a straight up leave your wallet at home type of event where we pay for everything from when you get there till when you leave. So super great event. And you know what? We are blurry. Is that on your end? Can you guys see that?
Of course it is. Yeah. I love leaving my wallet at home though. Yeah. Tristan's not blurry.
You can see that. We're blurry.
Take it away, Tristan.
You guys
are just Tristan, you keep talking. I'm gonna refresh us.
What do you think is habit number 2, Tristan?
Yeah, give us another habit.
We're gonna refresh us. That means, like, have a
if I had to go to my fiance, it'd probably be eat your food. That's what we always say to our kids, and then
Eat
clean
your
your
veggies.
nails and wash behind your ear. She's very like all about hygiene. I don't know if habits and hygiene are a big thing for you guys, but that's what I hear a lot about.
I have that on there. It's called self-care. A little
Oh,
clean. We're clear now, right?
Yeah, I'm clear. I'm
Okay,
clear
we're
as
good.
I'm
All
clear.
right. All right.
Probably because you like put your hand out there and probably like refocused it or
You know
something.
what? That's what I
'Cause
had to
you
do.
just
There
keep
we
getting up
go.
and down
Okay.
and moving around, screwing with the
We're
equipment.
good now. We're good now. All right. So here we go. So that's not habit number 2, but I like it. It's what I chose for habit number 3, Tristan. And that is the self-care habit. For you, self-care might mean hygiene. I think that's
For you, who? Tristan?
Tristan. That's what he
Oh,
said. Clean
that's not
behind your
very
ears.
nice.
No, he
no,
said
it's
that
true.
that's a
I'm just look. I walked up to the airport one day. And Sean looks at me, and goes, "What do you got on your shirt?" I go, "It's a stain." What do you expect after 5 years of knowing me? I got food on my clothes.
I'm not
We
saying like for
we,
you
we
because
call
you
them
need it.
call them snack pants at home because the dogs licked my jeans because I wiped. I'm not. It's me. I'm not gonna turn 40 soon, so it am what I am.
I love it.
Tristan. I
Snack
got
pants.
the best compliment ever today.
We did,
I
yeah.
was looking at a business deal. It was a very large deal, and as we were working through the logistics of how this might work, I was talking to one of the principals who was integral in making his business go, and I was like, "Listen, but I just want to know, like, if I do this deal, I'm not asking like to purchase you. I'm not,
Right.
but would you be willing to participate? Would you be willing to still support this business? If I'm running this business?" And this person said it was great. They were like, "You know what? I would love to do that. Here's what I won't do. I won't continue to run the business." And I was like, "That's fine, because I think I can run it." They said, "But I would love to support you because I've watched how Tristan, who might be one of the most inappropriate people on the planet, how he is able to be Tristan inside of the environment that you guys have created for the workplace." And he goes, "And I might be the second most inappropriate person on the planet next to Tristan, but knowing that I would be able to be me and that I would be able to support you while still conserving my identity." And, Tristan, people love that about you, that
Yep.
you are uniquely you. And I think that's a great lesson for everybody, because a lot of times, that was what this person was saying, is like, they said, like, when I write emails, I feel like I'm being like constrained because I feel like I
really use my voice.
yeah, because is it going to be okay with everybody else? Oh, Tristan, you're going to say something. You're just
I was
saying,
just saying, I think one of the biggest things, and we can tie this to habits, and I'm working with, people know I'm working with Phil Towle, who, if you guys ever watched and that was on a David Meltzer tip from the David Meltzer Mastermind, hire performance coach, and I hired Phil Towle. He's on the Netflix documentary. He saved Metallica, and the biggest thing is living in without fear. And I think the biggest thing I can say for 2023 for anyone right now is, what the fuck? What do you got to be afraid of anymore? We've gone through so much stuff.
Dang rating. Well, you just screwed up my mature rating on
Oh,
the
shoot.
line. Man, now we just lost all of our under 17 audience. And you're big on that. You love the young entrepreneurs.
No, I didn't say it fully, so they didn't catch it. But I think the biggest thing is I don't know who you're talking. You'll tell me later, I guess. But don't be afraid. You can't be afraid to be yourself. There's no other choice. You only got limited time on this planet. Be you.
I love it.
All right. So self-care we were talking about.
Well,
Self-care.
it's really like create, and this is great. We'll just bridge it to what Tristan just said. Really, what you need is you need a me plan. You need to go into 2023 and have a plan based on you, because we have a relationship plan, we have a marketing plan, we have a sales plan, we have plan to go out on dates with our significant other, and nobody ever plans what am I going to do for me? And so self-care needs to be a discipline or habit that you employ.
I like that way better. I don't like the term self-care, but I do like this me plan.
Yeah, it's my new thing.
I like that. That's way better, because self-care, me plan doesn't even have to be care.
No.
It could be just, things that you do for yourself.
A me plan, and I have a whole list of what I would include in a me
plan.
Okay,
let's hear it.
Well, I have my notes somewhere, but one of the things is when you're doing a me plan, number one, you have to decide what are you going to do for your health? So health is super important. Maybe it's the plunge pool, maybe it's sauna, maybe it's regular
red light
massages. You have to schedule those things in. Red light therapy, maybe you're going to invest in something that helps you. But then the other part of the me plan has to be mindset and shifting your mental space around things. So recognizing, things and paradigms that you want to shift, and then figuring out, what do I need to do for me to be able to do that? Do I need to read certain things? Do I need to have accountability? Do I need to get into a relationship with somebody? Like whatever it may be. So there's like some other things in the me plan that you need to be doing and that you need to think about to create disciplines, because you are still the center of your universe. And if you want to be successful in 2023, yeah, there's a lot of external things that you can do, but it's the internal you, the center, that really is going to drive the entire success of your business.
I love it.
Ever.
Self-care. People were waiting for me to give the self-care. I don't like that self-care.
He hates self-care. I know.
Me plan. I love that term. You
All
guys
right.
need to have a me plan. What are you doing for you?
Yep.
It's like, for example, like Jeff Thiel. Jeff Thiel loves to wash his cars. Now,
Yep.
I don't love to wash my car, but like he's like, that's therapy for me. I love to wash my car, but that's not self-care. That's
Yep.
car care. But he's doing it for himself. So that is a me plan. I like that.
And part of the me plan also on my list is actually finding something you're passionate about that's not related to your job.
Okay.
Or to your work, which maybe for Jeff, it's washing cars. And, for me, it's cooking. And so I have a big plan this year on how I'm going to be able to try to get to culinary school faster.
Okay.
Right. So there you go. Hobby
I
Lobby.
thought you were trying to be a pilot. That was on Monday. You were like, I'm going to learn to be a pilot.
I can do all the things.
Okay.
Maybe I'm going to fly to Europe to go to culinary school all by myself.
Yeah. You're going to have to learn French in order to do that.
I mean, maybe that's part of my me plan.
With the cordon bleu.
All right. Anyway, habit number, I guess now 3, is financial check-ins. And I think that this is really, really important. Habit. And this needs to be a discipline in your daily life. Number 1 is to be able to check in on your money and where things are at. We've talked about being in a relationship with your money for a decade now. We're never going to change that. This is always going to be integral into your ability to be successful. But in addition to you checking into your money on the daily, Shawn and I started last year actually doing what we call our net worth tracker, where we started keeping track of our net worth. And man, how does that change your mindset around what you're worth and your ability to reach bigger goals, right?
You know what? Something too, and I love that you added that, because I got to tell you, first of all, it's like money. So step number 1, I feel, is check in with your money, your financial status on a daily basis. Then what happens is that gets boring because you have a lot of it. So then you start measuring net worth on probably not a daily basis, because it's constantly changing, but like a weekly basis.
Right.
But here's the
net
thing.
worth at a minimum monthly.
At a minimum monthly.
Minimum.
For
You
every
gotta fill
single
it out
one of
monthly.
you, every single one of you
Minimum.
checking in net worth monthly, because that's the biggest thing, right? You begin to learn that it's not about, like, you see this, and I see it on social media, like, oh, how much revenue did you do? Well, that's not that important as to, like, maybe you did $1 million in revenue, but your net worth increased by 3. How is that possible?
Right.
Well, there's investments, there's appreciating assets, there's a lot of
All
things,
sorts of things.
your business value. But that's what I wanted to say, is that so many people underestimate their net worth. You know what, we run into this? We run Quest 7, and we look at a lot of deals, and Quest 7 gives you access to our deal flow. And some of our deal flow is only available to accredited investors. And the first time that people hear this term,
they're like, I'm
not an accredited investor.
Because they're looking at the surface criteria in order to get there and not understanding how it actually is related to them.
So then we say, well, let's look at your true net worth. And you know what people leave off of their net worth every single time? The value of their business.
Yeah.
Like, how much is your business worth? You get to add that. So it's not just your house. Most of you think that the most valuable asset you possess is your house.
Yep.
But for most of you, actually, it's probably your business. And then you add your house, your business, your cars, all the things, the bank accounts. And then you realize, like, wow, I think my net worth is pretty cool. And then you start watching that, because the name of the game here is let's increase. That's Quest 7. Let's increase your net worth on a yearly basis. That's the true measure of whether or not you're growing.
And I saw that Frank was on here and said that Lacey would be jumping out of the plane. That is in fact true, because I also love to skydive.
And cooking
so
in
that
the
means
sky
somebody else would have to be flying.
while speaking French.
Ooh, maybe I can jump out while making risotto.
Okay.
No? Okay.
There you go.
All right. So, but I want to add one more thing on the financial check-in. I think this is super important. If you're in relationship with somebody, when you do things like net worth, have like a meeting and a conversation around it with your significant other.
Yes.
I think that not enough people actually put this into their plan. You need to have scheduled times where you and your significant other, or if you're not even in a relationship with somebody and you have a business partner or somebody that's close to you, you have to have regular conversations around this. This will be able to change a lot of things.
That's another one that's big, is sometimes, like you talk about a lot, that there's somebody who's sort of abundance minded and somebody that's lack minded, but the lack minded person will oftentimes respond better to net worth because they're like,
Yes.
I didn't realize
Oh my
that."
God.
Okay.
I saw that Skip was on here and he said, took a loss with expenses, but increased our net worth by another $1 million. Sometimes that's how that works, because you're taking expenses and you're putting money and you're investing in things, but it increases your net worth.
Hey, everybody, check out that beautiful Kinross Castle there in Scotland, Edinburgh, Scotland. It's on the eve of the Edinburgh lectures. So all of you chiropractors, we would love to have you with us at the Kinross Castle in Edinburgh, Scotland, for an experiential mastermind. Go to www.experientialmastermind.com. Sometimes that www thing throws you off. If it does, just type in experientialmastermind.com. You can get information about how you can join myself, Lacey, and David Meltzer and his wife Julie, June 6th through the 8th of this year. It's going to be fantastical. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We are going to that very castle. And that's even more so. I talked about bourbon nights and we have all the food. This one has all the food. We're going to have all kinds. We got scotch tastings, wine tasting. If those of you that are able to go earlier or maybe stay later, staying later would mean you would stay for Edinburgh lectures. You got amazing speakers. Amanda Appleblatt, I believe Skip speaking, you're speaking, I'm speaking. It's a wonderful opportunity to put in front of that the experiential mastermind, hang out with Dave Meltzer. But some of us are going to go even earlier than that. We're going to play a lot of the amazing golf courses. St. Andrews, of course, you saw us with John Daly, where John Daly won the British Open. We're looking at Carnoustie, and we're looking at one other course. We're going to be playing with a European Tour Pro and a European female Tour Pro as well at our golf stops. It's going to be a tremendous treat for everybody that can go along. Experientialmastermind.com. We would love to have you.
Should we draw a name?
Okay, yeah. Let's draw two names.
Let's draw 2 names, because we've got 5 names and we've got 2 more.
2?
Ooh, that thing sounds creepy.
We need a new canasta.
Oh my gosh. This is like the janky production crew.
Yeah.
All right. First name.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was Auto Janky after I said it was the janky production crew?
Unfortunately not. It's Allison Knight. Allison
Knight.
And I gotta put the
advantage because Tristan was thrown off by the squeaky wheel.
Oh, Tristan,
there you got 30 seconds.
Go, Tristan.
Hit that
clock.
I'm going. There we go.
Like,
Allison
got like
Knight.
40 seconds. All right.
What is this?
Nobody liked the sound of the squeaky canasta. Maybe they will like the sound of our.
We gotta get going.
Okay, Allison Knight, let's go.
Allison.
All right.
Allison.
30 seconds on that one.
30,
All
40
right.
seconds.
All right, hold on. I got it. It's a lot. So I'm gonna start this. So hold.
You got to put the timer up there.
Okay. Sorry,
You get
everybody.
your name,
Cover your
get the
ears.
timer,
Cover
get
your
the
ears
timer.
if you don't like it.
Get the music
Why
ready.
What did they?
29 seconds.
I don't know.
Well, let me start this over. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I can't wait. One day you guys got to do it. I was telling, I'm training Bailey. I'm like, there's a lot going on. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, one day you guys got to do this. We'll have you and Bailey do this side. Let's see how that goes.
All right. Well, I'm really. I hope he's on here because I love this guy. We all love him. Travis Corcoran. So Travis Corcoran.
Travis Corcoran. You are the winner. Winner, Travis Corcoran. Let's go, Travis. He stays up for
Travis is smooth, so we'll give him some smooth music.
Make sure
the ladies love Travis, man.
Tell Tristan to bring back the hype music.
This better be royalty-free music, or I'm going to get in double trouble. First, Tristan dropping F-bombs. Now we're probably using some guys like music. The bots are going to catch that. I'm going to get a notification. There's been a claim made against
what was no Travis and no Allison Knight. Okay.
So we got 2 more. points, and then we're going to draw 3 more names. We're giving away
Okay.
$500. We got 3 more names to go.
You
Allison
know
Knight
what?
did not claim her prize. Travis Corcoran did not claim his prize. JETS, Jets. Let's go.
Am I supposed to understand that reference?
I don't know. What was he playing? Was that the Eagles, chat?
No, I don't know what that was. What was that, Tristan?
That was the James put Eagles chant because he's an Eagles fan on here. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I'm like, what is going on here? What is happening? Point number 4.
Number 4.
Habit discipline number 4. Revisiting and pivoting on your goals. I think that this is so I think this, for some reason, this is difficult for people to do because I feel like we talk about this every single year about how important it is to actually revisit your goals. This is one of the what?
Look, like my hot photo, my sister.
Oh no, Tristan, you played that music.
You played the music, and now all your friends are jumping in the chat. Oh my gosh, I knew this was not going to be safe for people under 17.
Oh,
Tristan dropped the F-bomb. Now we've got the mature audiences rolling in, pimping out their sisters.
No, it was the baby making music. That's what it was.
Like saying, look at the picture of my sister.
Because it sounded like that we were doing something very different in this room than talking about habits and disciplines.
Killed us.
Great. Fantastic. Anyway,
speaking of revisiting
your goals, we might have to have new goals around the audience that we're attracting in with this music playing in the background. Well, anyway, we talk about this all the time. I think that you actually need to schedule in times to relook at your goals. Like this should be done at least once a month. This is one of the reasons that on the stat sheet, the very first tab of the stat sheet is actually your marketing goals. Why? Because really you should be looking at that every time you open up the BDC stat sheet. I think that's super important. But people don't revisit them enough. And so they're not in front of you and you can't put enough attention into them and intention into them if you're not constantly looking at them. And that's how they get away from you. And so I think creating more consistency around how often you revisit your goals would be really important this year.
I love that. Just think about things that you can measure. I think that sometimes too, we kind of fall into just the same old goals. Like we're just, literally like always just chasing revenue or clients. And there's a lot of other things that you could create goals around and you create metrics around, KPIs around. The other thing is, we talk about, we don't love using the calendar year, the man-made construct of time to set your goals up around.
Right.
But at the same time, two seemingly opposing ideas simultaneously in one's mind, that's how the world operates.
Right.
So, look, your CPA, your financial planners, they'll have you set up your team. You probably are looking at like monthly or yearly goals, but at the same time, for us as individuals, I just look at rolling years, rolling quarters, rolling months to see how we're doing. And I think that helps to keep us fresh with our goals. I love that as a discipline. Revisiting them. Most people have already forgotten about those goals they made, those resolutions that they made at the end of last year because they weren't doing anything. They were taking off while everybody else was off, and then they just slapped them things down on a piece of paper, and they're already not doing them. And so, being in contact with them on a weekly or a monthly basis, I think keeps them fresh. It keeps you focused. It keeps you tracking. And then this idea of sort of adjusting or pivoting on your goals. What if you hit your goal that was for a year in June? Yeah. So you might want to adjust because a lot of people sell themselves very short on what they can do.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't mean you just coast for the rest of the year because you sold yourself short. You might have to readjust and do something super special in the back half.
I love it because people always especially when they're creating goals, they're like, well, I don't know, I don't know if I can do that much this year. I don't know if I can reach that amount of collections. They feel like it would be miraculous or a miracle to double their practice in 1 year, right? For a lot of people, that seems immeasurable. It seems far away. But one of the things that I've been trying to reconcile is that what doesn't get measured can't be done if it's immeasurable, right? So if something's immeasurable, you have to be able to measure it to get there. So something that feels so beyond what you can fit in your mind right now, if you're not actually paying attention and keeping track, you'll never be able to do what's miraculous, right? And so super important to keep track of your goals.
Last
one. This just goes with, we don't need a big explanation on this because I think that everybody understands this, but just practicing gratitude.
I did I don't know what you'd call it, like a presentation to Devin DeNofa's group. He has a phenomenal group that he's building. I gave a talk to his group, and that's one of those things where somebody wrote to me like, man, and I didn't necessarily talk about 5 habits or disciplines, but they're like, one of the things that you could tell, is that you practice gratitude. Um, you and I are very comfortable with success. And a lot of people are very uncomfortable with success, but don't ever confuse that with not being grateful. We are very grateful for everything that we have, and we practice gratitude by recognizing that, by acknowledging what we have, by giving it away. I was telling somebody the other day, all these people that razz us, you really have no idea how much we contribute and give to the causes that are important to us. We give a lot, because we acknowledge, we give it away so that we can receive back even more. And when it happens, it's just the law of the universe. And people who are not practicing the gratitude, who are not acknowledging, who are not liberating their abundance, they get mad at us. But you continue to practice that gratitude. And it's easy to see in other people. You start to get around people and you start to realize real quick, like, who are the gratitude practitioners, who are the givers, because that's the step number one, is you're grateful, and then that's what enables you to give. And then who are the takers? Who are the lack-minded people who are not practicing gratitude, who live in a state of fear and lack, and they're not giving. They're only looking to take because they think that this is a zero-sum game, and they're trying to amass a fortune. The person that dies with the most wins in their minds.
So one thing to close this out before we pick the last 3 names. Thank you, Seth Pearl, for being on here, because actually, you know what I talked about on IPO yesterday? It wasn't the me plan. It was that every day should be January 1st. And I said that for me, I feel like I'm looking around and I'm watching all of these people saying, man, I get to leave all of 2022 behind and I get to start fresh in 2023. Or now that it's January, magical day where all of a sudden you shed all the stuff that you didn't do and you get to do it today because it's January 1st. And then we were talking on IPO about the man-made construct of time. So in reality, why can't you just treat every day like it's January 1st? Why can't you leave what you didn't do and the things that you don't love behind and treat the next day like it's brand new, and that you get the opportunity to create new goals and get the opportunity.
But you'd have to practice gratitude.
You'd have to practice gratitude. That's where I'm bridging it. But you have the ability to have habits and enthusiasm and discipline. And if you just treated every day like January 1st, imagine for a moment what could happen in your business at the end of the year.
Helping you get caught up. The certified coach ribbon that Tristan put up. Super excited. Any day now, we're going to be ready to launch the program. We're going to be enrolling. I think we have very limited space. I don't remember exactly how many we're able to take. We've already calculated it out. We're going to be enrolling people into our very first class to create our very first BDC certified coaches. We're going to teach you how we have built a 7-figure coaching business. We're going to teach you how we actually coach. We're going to give you the tools so that you can coach, and we're going to support it beyond that. We're going to have ongoing support for you as you develop your clientele, as we go out together. That's our mission, is to reach even more people. That we live in a world of more than enough. And so we're going to, we can't private coach everybody on the planet. So we're going to certify, we're going to champion a few of you to go out there and build your book of business so that we can indirectly reach even more people and make an even bigger impact. And we would love to have anybody who's called to that. We shot a little piece today. And we were talking about this. One of the things that I got is a lot of people are like, I don't know if I'm ready yet.
We talked about that today.
What I said is like, man, well, have you done anything? Like, well, I don't know. I just opened my business, right? So you could teach other people how to open a business. Yeah. You might not be able to teach them how to scale to $1 million because you haven't done that yet, but you could teach people how to open. If somebody else could be like, well, I'm making $10,000 a month. People don't make $10,000 a month. So you could go out there and say, I'm the make $10,000 a month specialist. Now, once you're making $10,000 a month, I probably need to move you on. And that's the thing. We'll have tons and tons of other certified coaches. There'll be people that move people from 10,000 to 100,000. There'll be people that move people from 100,000 to $1 million. There'll be people that help go from one business to 6, like whatever it is.
Right.
But here's the thing. Every single one of you are far underestimating your worth in the world. And the last thing that I want to share is we had a Quest 7 call, and a lot of people missed this comment. Our good friend, Mark Murphy, he was talking about the evolution of an entrepreneur. And he said, most of you, listen to me, most of you, I'm not taking credit for this. This is Mark Murphy. You've got to check him out. One of the smartest guys I know. most of you get paid for what you do.
Mhm.
The evolution of an entrepreneur is to move from being paid for what you do to being paid for what you know.
Mhm.
And, and I feel like, wow, I was like, man, for me and you, I was like, that's one of the things. I didn't know this. We're just lucky. I talk about that. A lot of people are successful by accident. In that case, we were successful by accident because we did. We both used to be paid for what we did.
We did.
We used to work in a brick and mortar. We used to put our hands on people and get paid for what we do. Today, we get paid for what we know. And we want to help you to make that transition. We're offering for the very first time ever the opportunity to become a BDC certified coach. It's a process. We didn't just make this up. We've been working on it while everybody else was sleeping. We've been putting this all together, and we're very excited. Any day now, it'll be ready to release, and you're going to be want to be one of the very first to jump on that train so that we can start to help you move to and transition to being paid for what you know. And don't sell yourself short. Every single one of you. You know stuff. You know things that you could share with other people that will be of value and benefit to them. And you should be compensated for that transference of knowledge.
That's right. Don't sleep on your own success. Let's get it done in 2023. On that note, somebody is going to get $500. What you
Wow,
got,
you guys
Tristan?
you guys are better than Oprah.
Hey, let's figure out, but there might be something to this. So we're giving away $500. I need to ask Bailey, is there something to 5? Is
that a
somebody
good
going
number,
to win?
Bailey?
Is that a
God,
good number?
are you seriously opening up Pandora's box right now?
What, no,
We can't tell too much. We can't tell too much.
can't tell-
All right, Bailey. All right. All
okay.
right. We're
So
going to
Bailey's
keep
saying
it
the
real.
chances are low that there's going to be a winner in these next 2 names because of the number 5.
All right.
I'm a 3. I'm an excellent communicator with childlike energy.
Oh.
Ooh, sweet.
I
Today's
think
the
I'm
third
like
day.
an 8, right, Bailey? I'm
But
making
technically,
money.
too, to make matters
money.
even worse, it's January 4th, 1-4, which
5.
adds up to 5.
Everything's 5, Bailey.
Everything's 5.
All right. What do we got, Tristan?
You never
Well,
know.
we're gonna pull up that. I'm gonna pull up that
Go against the
countdown. I drew 3 more names, and I didn't want to have you guys have to listen to the spoiled,
Canasta.
not oiled canasta. So if anyone out there wants to donate a canasta to us, please do.
Or WD-40, that's fine too.
Just
Come
get
on.
there.
So
We're handier than that.
we have a
Maybe
lot
we
of
can
new
brand
names in
canasta.
BDC. I want to say thank you to everyone over the last December and through basically November, December. We've added about almost close to another 60, 80 people. We're still Bailey still got calls going into January 13th from your guys' referrals out there. We have an amazing referral program that we're going to be launching very shortly, so it's going to be even better than this one. But thank you guys. So we got a lot of new people, which means we had added a lot of new people into the canasta, which maybe made it squeak a little bit more. And one of the names I'm going to announce right now, coming over from, I'm not going to say the ecosystem, but Lance von Stad. Lance von Stad. I don't know if I'm going to say that with
That's how you say it. Lance von
Stad. Stade? Is it Stade?
Yeah,
Lance von Stad.
Stad.
Lance von Stad.
He was on Stad.
Sounds like
I love it.
spy.
Hey, that's he is a newer member to
Yep.
Black
Keep it
Diamond
nice.
Club. You got 10 seconds.
Where's the music?
Oh my God! Man. I didn't want to. I didn't want to put. It's all. We did a whole new thing.
A-G-L-E-S. Eagles, Eagles, Eagles.
Lance didn't even have theme music. I'm sorry, Lance.
Lance, you won $500. You just didn't claim it.
Yeah. Okay. You got
All
the
right.
Eagles chant. All right.
We have another person right now, so I'm gonna put the time up on there. So
Timer
we're gonna
and
get,
the
Get
music.
the music ready.
all right, let's do some music. Hold on.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I can't believe the Jeopardy song's not royalty.
Oh well, is it not royalty free?
No, I've
mean,
never
it's,
gotten.
we've
I've
never
never
gotten in
gotten
trouble.
busted for the Jeopardy song.
Yeah.
I'm about to get busted for all this nonsense you've been playing all night.
Next name is I can't pronounce it. He's a father. It's Paul Raquano. Is it
What? That can't.
Raquowitz?
Put the name up so we
What?
can see.
Bob Berkowitz?
Paul. Let me turn this.
Oh my God. Now the
Paul-
music's too loud, y'all.
Who? It's Paul.
His son's in the group. John.
Paul Rockowitz.
Paul Rockowitz.
I can't pronounce
Paul
it.
Rockowitz.
Paul
Rockowitz.
Rockowitz.
Yes. Okay. Start
so
the clock.
The first
Start
person
the clock.
got way too much time.
Give
and
the
now
clock
Paul...
again because Paul got 4 seconds literally.
God.
All right. Start it up again. Paul
Paul, are you on?
Rockowitz. Paul Rockowitz. He's another new member.
Paul,
Now-
I hope you're on, Paul.
tickets.
You had so
got
much
shifted
extra
up
time.
to the
Go,
top of
Tristan,
the
go.
canasta. No. We're giving him the full time because he said like
He
Paul.
gets
Like,
way more than
he said
full time.
Bob Berkowitz. It's not Bob Berkowitz.
You
It's
didn't
Paul-
say Bob Berkowitz.
Who is the guy who used to get us? Is Bob Berkowitz the guy who used to get us the good deals at the Marriott?
Yeah,
Yes,
but he's
but
not.
now we
He
have the
didn't
same
win.
status,
No.
and Bob didn't win.
Paul
so.
Rockowitz.
Okay, music.
Paul
They're asking for
Rockowitz.
music.
That was
But-
Jane. That was
Oh,
Jane.
God.
That was Jane's referral too. Jane, your
John
referral.
Schmelzowitz.
Your referral won $500, but he wasn't here to claim it. Jane, you're gonna have to tell him tomorrow,
Jane.
and we
All right.
appreciate all of Jane's support and referrals. She's the
All right,
best.
now Tristan, let's do this.
Okay,
Give
this-
the
yeah.
timer.
I got the Jeopardy music. I got the music. I found the Jeopardy
you
music
pronounce
by
the
mistake.
name?
Wait.
Can you pronounce the
And the
name?
music needs to be a little lower.
Volume
Okay, I don't
needs to come down like a notch.
Bring it
Okay, I'm
down a
trying
notch.
that.
Just
I don't
drop
know
it
if I
down
can-
a
Or
notch.
here,
You say that
we
to the
need to
kids?
get like here.
You ever say that to the kids?
No.
Hey, drop it down a notch. Bring it down a notch.
All right.
All right.
Now
Well,
we can
hopefully,
pop
I'll
this.
see what I can do here. Let me bring this down. Okay, so I can pronounce this name. Well, I can't. I know her as Let's start this.
Wait,
Laura
there's
Coleman.
Paul, but Paul's too late. Wait. Paul.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, hold on.
I just missed
Paul,
it.
you missed it. Like
You missed
literally.
'cause we-
And you had like a minute.
Yeah, we gave him an
You
extra
had-
time.
You had the most. Jane, did you
Yeah,
message
Jane messaged
Paul?
him and
and
was
then
like,
Paul was like,
"Dude."
"Wait, here I am."
Uh,
Check the text.
What did
Somebody.
we do here? This is.
We've never had this.
Well, we've been close. What do you guys want to? What are we doing here? Are
Wait a
we?
minute.
What does he say? Saying he's saying go back and check the tape like it's a it's like Las Vegas.
Yes.
Go back
You
and check
you
the.
get the pit boss. We got to go back and check the tape.
Okay, here's what we're gonna
How
do.
do you check the tape? I don't know. How you
Here's
check
what
the
we're
tape.
gonna do. We're gonna draw the last name, and then we're gonna. And if this last person is also on, but John, if you did, or Paul, if you did, John Mitchellwitz, I just read that. Paul, if you did in fact get us in time, we'll get you your prize, and then the last person will get a bonus if they happen to be on.
Okay.
How's that sound?
All
Ryan
right.
McCarthy, throw the challenge flag, that red challenge
So
flag.
somebody's throwing the challenge
Somebody's
flag.
throwing
So
the challenge
we're gonna
flag.
have to go back. We're gonna have to review the tape once everything's
First-
done and we're off, and then we'll
For all of you soccer
screenshot.
fans,
We'll screenshot
VAR. We're going to VAR here.
All right.
because this is a formality right now. We have to draw the last name just in case Paul didn't make it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So we have every.
Okay.
It's
The last name is Laura Herbie, but I know her as Laura Coleman for
Oh,
years.
Laura, yes.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Laura Coleman.
I-
Herbie.
I'm looking at the comments. Paul's saying I've been chatting all along.
I know, Paul. Don't worry. We are pulling the tape for you, Laura. If you're on,
And he's yelling at us. Don't yell at us. Well, hold on. He's yelling in his comments. There's no need to yell.
I promise. We're checking the tape for you. I promise.
Paul's new. I think he thinks that like maybe we would like maybe it's a scam.
No,
Come on this live.
we always pay our debts. We always pay.
We're
Paul's
definitely
throwing the red
we're
flag.
definitely giving away $500. But now here's what happens. We're gonna have to
This
go
is
to
some
VAR.
Cowboys BS
We're gonna
stuff.
have to go to VAR and we're gonna have to check the replay. We're gonna check the tape. Everybody is saying that Paul wins.
Oh,
And
love it.
I love that. I love also the support. Here's what
do.
we got to do. We're going to announce. We're going to go back to the tape. We're going to announce tomorrow what the decision is by the judges inside the BDC group because Paul's in BDC.
Yep.
We're going to announce tomorrow the winner. Well, either it's Paul or $600 going. Look, here's the thing, Paul. It doesn't matter to us because we're just giving away the money.
We just want to give
So
away
either
the
we're
money.
giving it away to you or we're giving it away to somebody next week. So it's the same. So we're gonna call in James Lewis to be the official judge.
The officiant.
He's going to check
Is that a word?
he's going
Is
to
that a
check the replay, and then James will announce tomorrow. Hey,
I
before
love
we
us
get
throwing
into-
James under the bus for this decision. I love this.
Yeah.
It's all
and
me.
I love everybody's rooting for Paul. They're like, Paul,
Give
Paul,
it to the
Paul.
hot sister.
Rooting for Paul. I love it.
I
Give
love
it-
that. Every
give it to-
Paul, Paul. Let's go, Seth.
The official James Lewis. I love it. Paul, it looks like you are getting rallied behind.
Paul became like the most popular BDC member in history.
Overnight. I
This
even
is
messaged
awesome.
Bailey on his Facebook. Bailey boy.
Oh, yeah. Natalie Cooper saying that she is testifying under oath that Paul actually commented way before we even announced the winner, so that she is saying, I testify under oath that Paul was on. And so yes.
This is grand.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so Aaron is saying that is one thing. Paul might be on delay, so you actually have to be live, but that might explain it. He might have been typing it when it was on his screen, right? But Natalie is saying he was here, so we're gonna.
Dude,
we're
he's
gonna
gonna buy.
that.
Brian McCarley said if he's gonna buy a lot of drinks for people at sales now.
Oh yeah, you don't even know. You're gonna have to. You got a whole crew. What is Paul gonna do with his $500?
If you've never been to a BDC workshop, Paul, get prepared for after at the bar.
This is fun. And then Paul, once the decision comes out, you have to tell everybody what you decide to do with the $500.
50 drinks, $10 drinks. So where are we going that drinks are only $10?
I know. I don't know what that is.
This is crazy.
Well, this was a fun night.
Everybody's super rallying behind Paul. I love this. Aww. This is definitely a biased crowd. They want Paul to win the money.
Well, but we have to look. We have the opportunity right now to create a little drama with this evening. So we're going to do that. We're going to review the tape.
Yeah, and Paul, you got to champion James Lewis. James Lewis. He's the judge. He's the arbiter. He's going to decide if Paul made it in or not.
Everybody's team Paul. This is awesome.
So next week we're probably giving away $300. Barring some crazy mess of how this broke down. But tell your friends, we're going to be drawing 3 names, $300 Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, BDC Live. This is an ongoing thing. We don't just come in and just do it a couple times. We're here for you. We're going to be talking current events. We're going to be talking about the things that you are being challenged by. We're going to be talking about anything that you want us to talk about. So make sure that you are plugged in with us every Wednesday. Set a little timer so that you guys know.
Share it with your friends. They're saying it's probably Bailey's fault. It's time to
fire Bailey again. Oh, boy.
Paul did message Bailey. There's proof in the
inbox.
Paul knows I have him on here. He knows.
Oh,
he knows.
Yeah, see, you were
Yes, he did ask. He asked for the link. He asked for the link today.
All right, you guys,
he said, "How do I get
next Wednesday? Tell us what you want us to talk about. Tell us your topics. Tell us what you want to hear us banter about, talk to our team about, and whatever it is. Yeah.
What a fantastic live. Thank you everybody for joining us. It was absolutely a blast. We love giving money away here on BDC Live. We'll be back again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Until then, see ya.